All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome back. I'm in the last 10 seconds of the Milwaukee Bucks versus Charlotte Hornets. Just a scouting report for the Cleveland Cavaliers tomorrow. The Cleveland Cavaliers take on the Charlotte Hornets tomorrow. And I just wanted to see what the Hornets have. The Hornets, by far, are probably one of the worst offensive team I've seen when it comes to game planning and schemes. Doc Rivers is doing a horrible job as well, having the Bucks ready to play against this Hornets team. This Hornets team could have been blown out a long time ago if the Milwaukee Bucks bigs actually attacked them. Unfortunately, in this case, they've all been playing from the outside, the three-point line. What I see from Charlotte Hornets, they're a very small team. Their largest guy they have on the court is Grant Williams. They do have a nice player in Green, LaMelo, and Brendan Miller, and Bridges is back. Those four by far are their hottest players on the team. No Diddy. Still young player, still trying to fit his role on the Charlotte Hornets. Right now, they have right now there's only 6 seconds left. 115, 114. Connington is taking the ball out, and looks like Antetokounmpo might be going for the lob. I'm not sure. That'd probably be the easiest play to do, but it looks like Grant Williams is on Antetokounmpo, just to show you that Grant Williams is only 6'6", playing the tallest man on the court, and no shot. The Charlotte Hornets just beat the Milwaukee Bucks. What a shame. This is what I talk about and I preach every time I make one of these videos, is complacency. You cannot disrespect any NBA team in the league because they're all professionals. Now, it only makes sense that this game was lost because, number one, the leader on the court didn't take the lead. The coaches on the bench did not make a statement and is not getting through its players. Doc Rivers deserves to get fired just because of this one game. Because guess what? Nobody showed up to work today. Antetokounmpo took a free throw shot when he knows his strongest play. His strongest play is the drive, the dribble drive, left, right, doesn't matter which way you go. His stride takes him to the paint in 2 steps. So it's like, why not drive for a game-winning shot? But anyways, I digress. Charlotte Hornets play the Cleveland Cavaliers tomorrow. Charlotte Hornets just beat the Milwaukee Bucks, not because they're great, but because Milwaukee never showed up. That's the point-blank, serious side note. Besides that, like I was trying to say a little bit earlier, Grant Williams is the Charlotte Hornets' biggest guy on the court. Mikal Bridges is probably the second biggest guy. He's 6'6", 230 pounds. But at the end of the day, height goes a long way in the NBA, especially when you have a skilled player like Evan Mobley, Jared Allen. George Niang by far is probably a little bit better than Grant Williams, and Grant Williams is taking care of business against the Milwaukee Bucks. So to include, a lot of self-inflicting wounds was Milwaukee's downfall. So tomorrow, I do not see Charlotte beating the Cleveland Cavaliers and taking RO. The Cleveland Cavaliers, if they come out guns blazing like they did versus, who did they play yesterday? I freaking forgot who they played yesterday. Chicago. If they come out guns blazing like they did in Chicago, this game will be over by the third quarter. The third quarter, if we come out guns blazing again, halfway through the third quarter, we should be sitting our bigs and our starting five, essentially. Isaac Okoro can man up very well against LaMelo Ball. You can put Karis LeVert on Brandon Miller. If you need a larger guy on Bridges, you can put Okoro back on him. If Evan Mobley plays tomorrow, well, then Evan Mobley will take care of that business. But if I was the Cleveland Cavaliers, I would actually sit Evan Mobley another game, let him get that rest, so that way we can compete against Boston at a top-tier level. And then Donovan Mitchell is gonna have a heyday. Darius Garland should have a heyday tomorrow from the outside three. Milwaukee just try to compete from the three-point line instead of just taking it to the paint. Green is definitely a nice player for Charlotte. Green knows how to take it to the basket when he wants to at will. But I think the goal tomorrow should definitely be zone defense or a man defense, but switch off on every pick. And that's another thing I did not see on Charlotte's side. They do not set any picks or any true picks. They kind of like slide and cut and stuff like that and unintentionally make picks. But to actually set a pick on top of the key, I do not see Charlotte Hornet doing that any time today versus Milwaukee Bucks. It's low key, just pass, and take the shot or drive. So it's just 2 passes, drive, 2 passes, shoot. It was that simple, and it was just man-to-man offense. Man-to-man defense, man-to-man offense, and it was just mediocre basketball today. That's why I don't know why Milwaukee lost. Charlotte should definitely consider breaking up the team. Even though they just beat the Bucks today, it doesn't mean anything. I think they're gonna have the worst record in the East, possibly bottom 3 in the East. By the end of the season, I think they'll be the last 3 teams in the East. And if I'm wrong, I do apologize. I'm just going based off of what I see. They literally have nobody outside their starting 4, because their 5 is not even a 5. I just don't see how Milwaukee Bucks lost this one. Well, I can see it, obviously, because they just came out lazy, did not care about the game, and just completely disrespected the Charlotte Hornets. That's why I say it bothers me when you come out weak. When you don't come out and punch them in the mouth, it makes your whole night long. So that's why I love how the Cleveland Cavaliers are just punching. When you don't see them punch, when you don't see them push, they feel it, and you feel it. Even as an audience, as a fan, and as an analyst, you're like, damn, what's going on? Like, why aren't they scoring like they normally do? How come they're not driving? How come they're not pushing? What's going on with them? And it's all mental. It's all in your head. You gotta play hard 45 minutes, and all 45 minutes. And if all you need is 35 minutes to win a game, do it in 35. Why waste the next 15 minutes just trying to catch up and beat them by 5 or beat them by 10 when you should be beating them by 20, 30 points? We have the skill level. We have the talent. To be honest, LaMelo Ball is the only best skilled player on that court for Charlotte. Bridges looks good. Miller looks good. Mann looks good. Green looks good. But they're all manageable players. They all remind me of like J.R. Smith, essentially. J.R. Smith was a talented player, but he's not somebody that's going to be dropping buckets on you on every game. He had his streaky moments. So everybody on the Charlotte Hornets, they're all streaky. The only one that's going to be consistent giving you stats is LaMelo. And LaMelo, his 3-point shot wasn't really falling today. It was just 1 or 2 shots here and there that he'll pop off from 3, and that's it. He wasn't even really shooting from the outside. He was just driving and fading and trying to draw the foul like James Harden. That's all it is. So definitely today, I feel confident going into tomorrow's game. I'm going to watch the Boston game next, do a scouting report on Boston, and see what that looks like. Because honestly, we just got to come out guns blazing. We come out guns blazing tomorrow, this game's a wrap. And they're not beating us. It's that simple. But if we come out lackadaisical, not setting picks, not fighting for rebounds, not dominating the paint like we normally do, it'll be a long night just like Milwaukee had today. They just didn't dominate the rebounds, dominate the paint. Just looking at rebounds, looking at the ball being shot, not boxing out. Simple basketball, simple techniques to secure the rebounds, secure the blocks, secure outlet passes. They just... Milwaukee should have never lost that, but they did. And that's why they're not going to be champions this year. That's what separates Milwaukee from Boston and Cleveland right now. That's what separates the Sixers from Boston and Cleveland right now. They're just not taking their job serious today. This year. This year, they're just taking a year off. It looks like they're going to... I personally feel Milwaukee should break the team up and rebuild and get as much assets as you can for Antetokounmpo. I think there's plenty of teams out there with plenty of first-round draft picks, like the Utah Jazz. They could send Antetokounmpo to Utah Jazz, get about 3-4 draft picks, plus Colin Sexton or Lauri Markkanen, Jordan Clarkson. They got quite a few players in Utah that are not going to win you anything. But that's my scouting report versus Charlotte. If you like this, hit the like button. If you like me, hit the follow button. I'll be posting this on YouTube. Hit me up, man. Peace.